In this video, I'll show you the exact system that I use to generate over 90 leads per week across my clients using the 5C LinkedIn lead generation system. You'll learn exactly what successful founders do to turn their LinkedIn presence into a consistent pipeline engine. But first, what are the actual problems with how most people approach building their LinkedIn content? First of all, they look only at the surface of what other people are doing on the platform, and they end up posting random tips without a clear content and conversion system. They either don't send any DMs to their prospects, or they blast them with irrelevant spam, and they don't really have a system lined up to build a conversion pipeline all the way from their LinkedIn profile to posting content, creating conversation assets, managing conversations, and booking appointments. But before we jump into the system, a few words about myself. My name is Leon, and I've spent the last 3 years working with B2B founders building their client acquisition systems. In my last role, I built an entire partnerships marketing channel from scratch for a 10 million B2B company and added 700,000 in annual recurring revenue in just 10 months. In addition, I've hosted over 20 podcast episodes interviewing B2B founders, making anywhere from 6 to 8 figures every single year. And that's exactly where I learned the power of LinkedIn and its impact on lead generation. This led me to develop the 5C framework for generating consistent leads on LinkedIn, and today you'll see exactly how I'm using it to generate leads for clients. Let's jump in. First of all, the system has 5 components to it, and if you skip even one, you can forget about driving leads to your business. Most people think that LinkedIn is just a content platform, but content is only the first out of 5 pillars that drive revenue and business growth. There's content, there are comments, conversion, conversations, and most importantly, consistency. And today we're going to walk through every single one of them and how they impact LinkedIn lead generation. The first one is content, and it's really all about building trust with your audience. We start by optimizing your profile and making sure that your picture, headline, banner, your about section, and your featured sections read as a landing page that help your viewers understand how you can help them. Then we outline your ICP, your existing credibility, build a content strategy for you during our onboarding call. Once that's through, we then invite you to our premium online recording studio where we interview you on different topics related to your area of expertise. And this is the core behind all of those 4 content pillars. We never invent anything for you. We compress the thinking required to write a month's worth of content into 2 monthly content interviews. The ideas have to stay yours. We handle the rest. We handle the entire content strategy and writing thought leadership, personal brand, educational content, as well as showcasing your success stories so that you get to build trust through showcasing your expertise, showing that you're a human, building trust through sharing value without people asking, and showcasing results that I've got for other customers. Then there's comments. And comments are one of the most underrated growth strategies on LinkedIn. And they serve 2 purposes. First of all, they build brand awareness through visiting other people's audiences. Second of all, they nurture your ICP leads before you ever send them a message. This, by the way, is by far the most labor intense and one of the highest ROI elements of this entire strategy. And if you were to execute it yourself, you can add another hour on placing comments on top of all the content you'd have to write yourself. Why commenting strategically works? Because LinkedIn inherently limits your ability to get more visibility from content. You can only post once a day. With comments, you get to start conversations in public, show your value to your audience before making any asks, and remember that people judge you by the content that you show across the entire platform, including the comments they place on other people's posts. And this is why 30 comments a day keep algorithm changes away. No matter how low the reach would be, we'll always make sure that there are people learning about your content, visiting your profile page, reading your posts, going into your funnel. But content and comments are not everything. They're about building brand awareness and nurturing your leads, but the real leverage comes from being able to turn that attention and trust into real sales conversations. We used our proprietary lead magnet system to turn the attention you're generating into valuable assets that funnel your buyers straight into conversations with you. Because, let's be real, you clicked on this video because you want to grow your brand in a way that will drive new revenue for your business. And the conversion part is exactly how we start the conversations that end in new business for you. First of all, we build the lead magnet assets, which are our secret sauce behind generating 90 leads every single week. We build lead magnet assets and opt-in pages for distribution so we can convert and deplatform users into nurture systems. Then we distribute those lead magnets in people in DMs and kickstart conversations with those who opted in, which allows us to finally get into the most important part, the conversations. Kicking off these conversations would mean nothing if leads didn't end up booking meetings on your calendar. The conversation is where we continue what we kicked off in the conversion part with the lead magnets into a funnel that leads people to book meetings with you. This, by far, is the highest leverage part in this entire system. But as you know, it builds on top of all the 3 previous pillars that we already talked about. We kick off the conversations, we book the appointments, you get the lead on your calendar, and that's where you get to close the new revenue for yourself. And all that is to say that all these 4 elements of the 5C LinkedIn lead generation system would mean nothing if it wasn't for consistency. When you're doing LinkedIn yourself, it's easy to deprioritize it due to all things happening in your business. A client fire, family emergency, a long project that you need to focus for a week on. Doing it all yourself makes this entire system dependent on your workload. By letting us implement it for you, you get to focus on moving the big things in your business while having the system run hands off for you. And one thing nobody talks about, by having someone fully own this channel in your business, you never risk it going stale, because we'll implement changes and feedback from you and the audience to make sure you're getting the most leads out of LinkedIn you can. So we want to make sure that we have the content system running and we're posting consistently 5 times every single week, that we're commenting 30 times every single day, that we're sharing lead magnets, that we're capturing leads and starting conversations by reaching out to warm leads to actually book calls. The consistency part is what makes all the rest of the system work and compound for you, which is the real power of LinkedIn lead generation. So what can you expect? First of all, we'll make you visible to the right buyers, and we're actually going to guarantee that you get at least 50,000 views on organic content every single month. With all 5 pillars of the 5C system, from content, comment, conversion, conversations, all running consistently, you'll see sales calls coming your way in a matter of weeks. So by now you probably want to see what do other founders have to say about LinkedIn lead generation, which you can do below this video. We've got some case studies for you to check out, and you'll be able to understand exactly from our clients' words how we're able to generate them consistent leads every single week. After you check out the case studies below, make sure to book a call and explore how we can implement this system for you. I'll see you there.